Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen in another episode of Just What the Doctor Ordered. I'm Dr. Katie Benson, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a grain-free granola, or also this can be used as a cereal. And this is absolutely great because I know many of our patients are following the advanced plan in the Maximize Living cookbook, and so it literally tells you not to eat any grains. And so this is a good way to still have a treat like cereal or granola without actually getting the oats, the wheat, and all the processed grains. And so what I'm going to start with first is actually going to be the coating that actually kind of makes it a little bit sticky for the granola. And so what we're going to put in there is going to be a half a cup of coconut oil. And so with the coconut oil, it's absolutely a great oil, loaded with great healthy fats. It's a good source of energy, and then also great for your body. And so just do about a half a cup of coconut oil. And the reason why we're heating it up is because coconut oil is solid at room temperature. And so in order for us to pour it over our granola mixture, we want it to be liquid. So half a cup of the coconut oil, and then we'll just let that melt. And then to that, we're gonna add about 2 to 3 big tablespoons of organic raw honey. And the honey's great because it sweetens it up, but then it also kind of helps bind everything together, kind of makes it a little bit sticky, and makes the granola sweet and crunchy too. And so we'll put about 2 to 3, and you can kind of eyeball that, however sweet you want it. If you're trying to, even not do a lot of sugar, you could do, just 1 tablespoon of this too. I'm going to put about 2 big tablespoons of the honey in there. Good. And then you don't want that to boil. That all we are doing with that is getting that heated up just so it turns liquid. Because the raw honey, it's not been really heated, and so we want it to actually just maintain all the good stuff in there too. While that's going, we're going to actually preheat our oven to 170 degrees. And so you want to actually get your oven down as low as it goes, because a lot of the nuts we're going to use are raw, and we don't want to be heating them up at 350 degrees. We want to really try to maintain the healthy fats in the nuts, and so you don't want to actually heat them up too high. And so once that turns liquid, it literally takes just a few seconds. We're going to turn that off. We don't want it to boil or anything like that. And then what actually makes up our granola mixture, I'm going to do a cup of pecans. And then we're going to do a cup of walnuts. And then a cup of raw almonds. Raw, preferably not roasted or toasted. And then also a cup of cashews. And you know what? This is great for kids, and if you want to, you can even chop these into bite-sized pieces too, rather than the whole nuts. But or you can just use the whole nut. It works fine that way too. And then to that, I'm also going to add some pistachios. About a half a cup of pistachios too. Good. And then the last few ingredients in this is going to be coconut flakes. And so coconut flakes are great, and they're going to actually act as almost like the little chewy clusters. That mixed with the coconut oil and the honey makes this chewy cluster in your oatmeal or your cereal. And so, we're going to add a big cup of the coconut flakes. And you can kind of, eyeball it. If you like coconut, you can even put more in there. And then the last 2 things that we're going to add is going to be raisins. So about a cup of raisins. Good. And then I'm also going to put some currants. I mean, this is a recipe. You don't have to be real specific with your measurements. If you like certain things, throw it in. You could also put pumpkin seeds in there. You could put dried blueberries, dried cranberries. I would just be cautious on some of the dried fruits because they do have high fructose corn syrup in them, or corn syrup or sugar. And so I just kind of try to stay with raisins too, because you know that it's just, just raisins in there. And then with that, then we're also gonna sprinkle that with some cinnamon. Cinnamon's great because a little bit of the natural sugar that's in there with the honey, the cinnamon actually helps to balance out your blood sugar. Cinnamon is actually an amazing antioxidant for your body, great for blood sugar balancing. And so I try to put cinnamon in as much things as I can. And so I'd say probably about a teaspoon of cinnamon and just a taste. And then to the mixture of the coconut oil and the honey, I'm also gonna add a pinch of sea salt. Good. And then I'm also just gonna put a pinch over the granola mixture too. Good. And then another thing you can do if you want your granola to be extra sweet, but yet you don't want, a lot of natural sugars in there, you can also add a little bit of stevia to the mixture too, just to sweeten it up without adding a lot of, honey or, other type of sugars in there. So I'm just gonna mix this together. And then what we're gonna do is pour this right over our granola mixture. And I'm just gonna stir this. You just wanna make sure that everything gets nice and coated in there. And you know what, this is great. Like, kids absolutely love this. Like, this can be a new cereal in the morning. And I'm gonna show you a few ways that I love to eat this granola mixture. And once this cooks, like, it's gonna come out nice and crispy, and it has the cinnamon and the honey and a little bit of salt, so it's salty and sweet and chewy and crunchy with the raisins and the nuts in there too, so good. And then you're just gonna put that in your oven at about 170 degrees, or as low as your oven goes. You almost kind of want to dehydrate it. And you may have to cook that for 45 minutes. You want it to be crunchy. You don't want to burn it, you want it to be crunchy. If you bring it out and the nuts are still soft, then you may want to just do it a little bit longer, because the crunchier it is, I think it tastes better as a granola or a cereal. And so I actually have kind of a finished product, what that looks like when that comes out. And so you can see how it actually it binds together. And so it's just a great snack. You can put it in a Ziploc bag and take it with you to work, or pack it in your kids' lunches. Or this is how another great way I like to eat it, as a cereal or as a topper to yogurt. And so I have some of the Amasi, the Beyond Organic. It's like almost like a yogurt drink. And so I just pour a little bit of that into a bowl. Good. And then I'm gonna put some of the granola on top of that. I love that, how it actually kind of binds together and it gets crunchy. Like, that tastes so good. Put a few scoops on top of there. Good. And then I also like to top that with just some frozen blueberries. Perfect. You can actually see like how great that looks. And a lot of times patients ask me, what are good breakfast options, beside eggs? Well, this would be amazing. Breakfast in the morning, you got the good healthy proteins, the good probiotics from, the yogurt, the good healthy fats from the nuts and the good proteins. And then you got the blueberries, good fruit in there too. And so I'm just gonna give this a taste. So good, it's chewy. And so if you guys want more recipes, I invite you to come to our recipe night. It's this Monday night at our office. And then also February 9th, we're having our heart health talk. I'm teaching nutrition that's great for your heart, how to prevent heart attack and how to prevent strokes. Have a great day, guys. I hope you try their granola, and we'll see you next time.